Home where a wife killed and buried her husband is on the market. Now, if you were interested, if you were a buyer, you'd probably want to know if anything terrible had happened there. But we found out realtors don't have to tell you if a home has skeletons in its closet. News 13's Nancy Laughlin is live downtown with the story.
Diane, that's right. Homes where homicides, suicides, even drownings have taken place. Those are often called stigmatized properties. And a lot of people think they're spooky or even haunted. Now, the law dealing with the sale of those homes, it may be controversial, but it is very clear. It is a beautiful, sprawling home in North Albuquerque Acres. A swimming pool, huge yard, and incredible view. At one time, it was valued at more than $1 million. Actor Christian Bale even rented the home while filming Terminator Salvation. What he didn't know at the time, there was a body buried below him. It's the home where Ellen Snyder shot her husband Michael, then dumped his body in a 10-foot grave, undiscovered for 8 years. Today, it sits empty, owned by a bank with a price tag of $590,000. Would the realtor have to tell you the dark history of this house?
The law says that a real estate broker is not liable for a failure or a choice not to disclose a death in a property.
Peter Parneg says sellers and landlords don't have to tell you anything about homicides, suicides, sexual assaults, or any other felonies that may have taken place in a home or apartment you're about to buy or rent unless you ask.
If the seller tells us, and if asked the direct question, we would, as an industry, have to tell the truth.
Chris Robinson says he wished he knew that 6 months ago when he moved into his Rio Rancho apartment.
I don't think my house is haunted. I've lived here, and besides my neighbors, it's dead quiet.
He had no idea a pregnant woman was strangled inside his kitchen 5 years ago.
If someone's been murdered in a house that you're about to rent, especially if it's been in the past 7 years, then they should have told you, yeah.
As for the realtors who are selling this, they say they'll be very open about what happened to a man who was killed, then buried under his dream home. Okay, Parneg says for many people, a death inside a home or apartment really is not an issue, but for others, it definitely is. It certainly would be for me. He also says it's a good idea to do some research on your own because sometimes realtors don't always know the entire history of the home. Back to you.
Good advice. All right, thank you, Nancy. Now, Parneg also says if you ask, realtors must tell you if there were pets or smokers in a home, anything that could be a deal breaker for you.
Well, some